One announcement I want to give as we get started, one is I want to continue to encourage you to give towards our community care fund. We started that at the beginning of this pandemic. The idea of our community care fund is to care for people inside of our church as well as people outside of our church that we are connected to financially care for those people in a multitude of different ways. This is something that we're not just going to do during a pandemic. I hope that this will be continued in the life of our church moving forward. And the idea is that we as a collective, as a whole church, can band together to take care of the issues that people have, more so as a collective than we can as an individual. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation where you've been presented from like a family member, a friend, or a neighbor, some kind of need, and you're like, man, I wish I could meet that need, but it's just more than I have to give, and so we tend to just not engage it sometimes because we don't have the ability. But if we can rally together with our church, and we each put in a little bit to make that happen, it's easier than to say, hey, church, help me out. I want to help my neighbor. I want to help my family member, and you can come along with us together, and we can all together go out and help that. And as we're helping, what we're trying to do is build relationships and opportunity to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with people. If you look at the ministry of Jesus, he was caring for people's physical needs in order to build a relationship to ultimately care for their spiritual need. That's what we want to do through our community care fund. And so what we're going to try to do is remind you once a month and basically essentially take an offering. We won't pass a plate, but essentially what we're doing here today is I'm encouraging you to kind of take an offering today once a month. We'll bring it up again next month, the month after that, and we just kind of want to take an offering each month of how we can raise some money for our community care fund. The church has been extremely generous towards that so far. I know you'll continue to be generous towards that. If you want to give towards that on your phone, you can get our phone app for our church. There's opportunities for you to give through that phone app. There's also an opportunity and a giving box out in the lobby. So just kind of pretend today that somebody passed a plate in front of you and we took a special offering for our community care fund. And so instead of that plate passing, pull up your phone, use that giving box out in the lobby, and we're going to try to do that once a month. Also, not only the collecting of money, but we also want to encourage you that as you see need in people around you, engage that need. So if there's a family member, a friend, neighbor, something like that has a need, come fill out the request form that we have at the church, and we'd be glad to partner with you to help care for someone's need, that we might be a light of the gospel in those people's lives. So continue to want to encourage you on the community care fund. Let me go ahead and